What's going on, guys? Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about a couple bits of Nintendo news that have been happening for the past few days and just giving you guys my thoughts on all of them and potentially what could happen in the future. So the first thing that we've got here is actually a very interesting update that Nintendo did a couple days ago, and this was something that I don't think anybody was really expecting, but it was also something that people have really been asking for the longest time. I didn't even know that the base Nintendo Switch was capable of doing this, and that is that Nintendo added a version update for the Nintendo Switch that finally allows you to use wireless Bluetooth headphones with your games. So if you've got like AirPods or something, you can finally now use them with the Nintendo Switch, and this is something that I've just been really asking for the longest time. I thought that maybe the Nintendo Switch just wasn't capable of doing this, and I know that there were like some adapters and dongles that you could buy in order to add like Bluetooth to it so that you could use these wireless headphones, but now Nintendo has finally just enabled this feature within the system itself from a system update, and so it really kind of makes you wonder like how exactly Nintendo does come up with these things. Like, it's so weird because if this was really something that was just inside of the Switch already, why wasn't it not active like in 2017 when the Switch initially just came out? Like, wireless headphones were still a big thing back then, so I don't really understand why Nintendo waited 4 years to do it. It's just so weird when they decide things like that. But yeah, wireless headphones can finally be used now with the Nintendo Switch, and this is just really good because there's many times at night when I really want to play in docked mode, but I've got roommates and people that are just sleeping, and I don't want to make the volume too loud to disturb them. Now I can finally just put on some wireless headphones and still be able to play the game while it's docked and on the TV, so it's just a really good feature that I'm finally happy did end up coming to the Switch. Now the next thing that we've got here is about the Nintendo Switch OLED model. So of course this was the brand new Nintendo Switch model that was revealed back in July, and this model is only a couple of weeks now from coming out. I think it's going to be coming out the same day as Metroid Dread, which is going to be coming out on October 8th, I'm pretty sure. So very soon this brand new Nintendo Switch model is going to be out, and it looks like that Nintendo is starting to kind of put these on display because in Japan it looks like that the Nintendo Switch OLED model has been on display now in one of the stores, and there's been pictures going on about it because it looks like it's actually there in person. You can go ahead and look at it through like the display case, and they even have like some games on it. And according to people who have seen the Nintendo Switch OLED model in person, they're all saying that the colors on it look really bright and vibrant, and it just looks really pretty on there. So I'm really excited to see what it's going to look like in person. I did pre-order it myself because I really kind of do want to have a brand new Nintendo Switch, and I think it'll be kind of nice, and I'm excited to see how the colors are going to look. Now also, in terms of the Nintendo Switch OLED, something that people have discovered is that for some reason with the new update that just came out a couple days ago, apparently it looks like for the Nintendo Switch OLED model, which is going to have a slightly different dock, it looks like this dock is actually going to be able to be updated now because there's a brand new option that says update dock firmware. And that's kind of weird because we know that this new Switch model is going to have a different dock. It has a slightly different design, it comes with the Ethernet port in it, but it's so weird how there's actually going to be like supposedly dock updates that are going to be happening for it. I don't really know what else they could be adding to it. I feel like maybe it's probably just going to be like stability and data and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be anything big, but I know some people have some kind of crazy expectations that maybe Nintendo is hiding some big feature. I don't really think so. I feel like if it was hiding something kind of crazy, like some people are saying maybe it's going to have like 4K or something that's hidden in there, it would just not make any sense if that Nintendo Switch OLED model's dock was 4K capable the whole time, but Nintendo just didn't enable it until like a couple years later. It would just be really dumb, so I don't think it's going to be anything like that. If anything, maybe it's just for them to kind of monitor how the Ethernet ports are working and the data transfers and things like that, but I doubt it's going to be anything super major. Now in terms of some of the bigger stuff, one of the more interesting things that happened recently was it was discovered that Nintendo has filed an FCC listing for a new controller with the model number HAC-043. And the reason that people are talking about this is because this specific model number goes in line with the model numbers that they've had for those classic controllers that they've released for the Nintendo Switch to use with the Switch Online. Like if we look in this tweet here, this person is saying that HAC-042 was for the wireless SNES controller. So a lot of people are thinking that if a new Nintendo controller is coming, it's more than likely going to mean that a brand new system is being added to Nintendo Switch Online. So people are starting to think about what exactly could this system be. There's a lot of different options. Some people are saying that maybe it's going to be Game Boy now, where you can actually play some Game Boy games on your Nintendo Switch, and that would be pretty fun. I mean, there are some really great Game Boy games that are on the Game Boy, so I would love to have like some old school Pokemon games on the Nintendo Switch, and maybe some like a Zelda game or something like that too. Like there's a lot of good choices for them to do with that. But then we also have the possibility of N64 games, so that would make me very happy too. N64 has a ton of amazing games, some of which are kind of hard because like Mario 64, we already do have Mario 3D All-Stars, but I don't know if maybe they'd be willing to just put that on the Nintendo Switch. Of course, games like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, we've got the Banjo games. There's a lot of cool games on the N64, so it's just a matter of exactly which one it's going to be, because we don't know exactly for sure, and really even how this controller is going to work, because obviously with the SNES controller, it was just like a separate controller that you hold in your hand. The NES ones could actually be kind of locked onto the sides with the railings on the Nintendo Switch. So if they are going to be adding like Game Boy, for example, I don't know exactly how the controller would work for that. Would it be like you kind of hold it like a Game Boy but then slide your Switch onto it or something? I have no idea how exactly that could work, but obviously if it's going to be N64, I'd imagine they would just kind of release like a modern wireless version of an N64 controller, which would be kind of cool too. And so yeah, with all of this kind of happening, it just makes a lot of sense that a brand new Nintendo Direct is probably going to be coming. I know people have been talking about it for September for the longest time, and I mean September is kind of going to be over from the time that I make this video and like the time that you guys see it. We're only going to have I think like a week or so of September left, but it's still possible that maybe a Nintendo Direct could be happening towards like the end of this month. I don't know, it's kind of weird because we've always kind of had a September Nintendo Direct for the longest time. It's been there for multiple years. We've always had September Nintendo Directs. And like especially this year, it would just make so much sense to have like a September Nintendo Direct right before like Metroid Dread comes out in a few weeks. I think to have like one big push for that game and show some good stuff there. Obviously Super Mario, Mario Party Superstars, I mean, is going to be coming out really soon as well. So to have some information and overview for that game, some of the other recent games that are coming out, it just feels like a September Nintendo Direct would make a ton of sense. I still do think that there is going to be a Nintendo Direct very soon anyway. Maybe it's not going to be September now. Maybe Nintendo's just finally going to break that streak and maybe they're going to move to October now or something else instead. But either way, I do think that we still have one more Direct left in the year for sure. And I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to see it very soon. But yeah, I think it'll be just exciting to see kind of all the announcements and things that they have. So yeah, I think that'll be pretty fun. But yeah, there you go guys, that's pretty much just everything that has happened in terms of Nintendo news recently. If you guys enjoyed this video, then definitely be sure to click that like button and also comment down below and let me know how you guys feel about this. How do you guys feel about the Nintendo Switch OLED model? How do you feel about the possibility of like a new virtual console game system coming to the Switch? How do you feel about being able to use Bluetooth headphones on the Switch now, as well as the possibility of a Direct coming soon? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Nintendo content in the future, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros. And Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.